Hello, Living Flow. So happy to have you here. Today's class is going to be called Anchoring in Yourself. It's going to be a little bit of a hybrid. We're going to definitely flow a little bit. We're going to get some Agni, some heat in our belly, but then we're going to go into some deep, longer holds. So if you have blocks, they're definitely going to be helpful today. But if not, don't stress. You're good. So let us begin. Today we're going to start lying on our backs. Your feet are going to be flat, as wide as the mat. Turn your toes in a little bit. And then you'll come all the way down onto your back. And the knees are going to fall towards one another. They don't have to touch. So we're just opening up the low back to connect to the breath. The breath I'd like us to play with today is called Sama Vritti. Sama means even. Vritti means fluctuations. So first, let's just start. Take a few rounds and just count your inhale. Let the exhale be just as long as it's going to be. Now, most likely, your inhale, when you counted, was probably either the same number each time or close to it. You're going to choose one of those numbers, kind of the most easeful one, and mine is 5. So you're going to inhale for that number and exhale for the exact same number. And so inhale, whatever your number is. Exhale your number. And do this a couple more times, counting. And then see if you can let go of the count. And just feel the even fluctuations of your breath. What does this breath do for us? One, it helps us focus a little bit, and it's very anchoring in the body. So I'm going to invite you to kind of come back to this breath as we move, because you are going to lose it as we start to kind of discern what movements we're doing, but to come back as this kind of rooting space to really be present in the practice. Good. Now we're going to start to move. The heels come underneath the knees. You're going to bring your right knee in. Just a couple easeful rotations in your ankles. Then flex the right ankle. And you can take the left leg long. If that doesn't feel good, you can keep the foot flat on the mat. And a couple even breaths here. Slide the hands behind the right thigh and stretch the right leg up to the sky. Couple breaths here. Now we're going to come into some core work. The hands will come behind the heads. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders. Exhale, float your left leg. Inhale, try to lift your head and shoulders more. And then exhale, switch the legs. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, switch the legs. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, switch the legs. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, switch the legs. And slowly bring everything back down to the earth. Inhale. Exhale, twist towards the left. You're going to let the left knee come all the way over for a moment. And then I want you to reach the right arm back to ground the right shoulder. What's going to help, you can see how much my right knee is lifted here. That's okay. I'm going to rest my right foot on my inner thigh and breathe. But I'm anchoring through my right arm. If it doesn't feel good for the knee to be lifted, you can just put your hand there. You'll take a deep breath in. And then exhale, look towards the right. And then just for a moment, come back to your Samavriti, just even breaths. Come back to center. As you come back to center, both feet come flat. Just a little tiny, tiny, tiny bridge. Just lift your hips up so the pelvis comes back to neutral. Left knee will come in. Right leg can go long. Rotation in both directions. Love our little ankles for all that they do. Do, 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 do. Hands slide behind the thigh, and you're going to stretch up to the sky. And then we're going to come back into the core work, just as we did the first time. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. The right leg will hover. Lift the chest a little higher. Exhale, switch. 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 Knee comes into the chest, right leg goes down. Twist all the way over to the right side. So left shoulder high, high, high. But then you're going to anchor back. So the left knee will lift and the left shoulder will come down. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, feel the upper chest rotate towards the left. And now bring in your even fluctuation, your Samavriti breath. Back to center. Once again, both feet flat. Lift your hips just a little. Hugging the knees in. Nice little squeeze. And then you can roll to one side or start to rock. Come all the way up to seated. This is where we do our housekeeping, fix our buns, tuck our shirts. Blocks can be at the top of the mat. And you're going to come set yourself up into a child's pose. Arms are going to reach forward. Get your hands ready for down dog. Even looking up to see that the fingers are pressing in. I love a little sway. We are going to kind of get into the shoulders a little later. So kind of starting to open up around the chest. And you're going to pull the chest forward, curl the toes under, down dog. Bend both knees quite a lot. Press the chest back, and you're going to breathe. We're going to do this down dog lateral stretch here. So going to the right, the hands are glued in their position. All you're going to do is start to walk the feet to the right and bend the right elbow and push into the left hand. Yes, you have to go off your mat to do this. One more breath. Even in, even out. And then walk it back. Start to bend the left elbow. Push into the right hand. And breathe. Okay, if it's a lot to hold in down dog, you can play with this lateral stretch on your knees. So always be willing to kind of play in your practice to find this adjustment. We'll come back feeling Down dog, even breath. Pull forward, plank, 5 breaths, knees up or down, your choice. So how do you want to utilize those 5 even breaths? Inner thighs pressing up if the knees are up, arms hugging together if the knees are down. So finding your location of work. Where are you going to anchor your attention into the body? And then you're going to shift forward, slowly lower to the ground. Point the toes back. Inhale, just a low cobra. Feel the heart lift away from the floor. And then you're going to push into the hands to lift up into a cobra. Keep the elbows slightly bent. Look straight ahead. Almost draw your chin back. Nobody loves to make a double chin, but we really want to find space in our cervical spine and make sure we're supporting that curve. Breathe. Even fluctuations. Exhale, push back to down dog. All right, first, coming into the first little bit of standing work, the right leg's gonna lift. I'm gonna invite you to keep that right leg straight. You're gonna lift the left heel, inhale. Exhale, press the left heel down. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, look forward. Pull the right knee into your nose. Step the right foot forward, grab your blocks. Hands on the blocks, you can use either height. What I want you to feel is this long line from your left heel to the crown of the head. The legs are working. It's almost so much that if you were to lift your hands, all of this would stay the same. You can keep the hands down. The blocks are just on either side of the right foot. If you can get the hands flat, great. If you're on your fingertips, that's fine too. But the idea is you're almost like pressing down into the blocks to take the chest forward a little bit. You're going to look forward and then bend everything and push. Step your left foot forward. If you need to bring the blocks higher, do so. Just bring the palms to the blocks. See if you can find length through the spine. Nice deep breath here. Exhale, fold. Bend the elbows, hug the arms in to do so. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, right foot's gonna go back. We're gonna play with the lunge, 5 even breaths. Hug the outer hip in, press the right thigh up. If I want, I can see how much work is in my legs. Even Steven. Good, now for transition, blocks will go out of the way. Palms press, push up through the heart. You can step back to down dog or vinyasa, plank. Bend the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Right? Cobra, the knees are down. Up dog, the knees are up. Press through the thumb and the index finger to find down dog. Left leg's gonna lift this time. Deep breath in. Right heel lifts, right heel lowers. Even. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lift. Look forward. Knee comes into the chest. Step forward. Once again, blocks come in. Find the runner's lunge. This time we're going to use the twist. So I want you to keep that right thigh pressing up to the sky. Right hand stays down. Left arm goes up to 12 o'clock. A lot of times kind of this hip goes forward, this hip drops down. So you can keep the left hip drawing back, right thigh going up. Open up through the chest. Neck is long. If you want, you can gaze up towards your left thumb. Even breaths. Good. We're going to look forward, left hand comes down. Push to step the right foot forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. This time, left foot goes back. Boop. Find the runner's lunge first. Outer hips hugging in. We want the twist to happen behind the heart. So as you pull the right arm up, try not to let your left hip drop down. Keep that left thigh lifting, and it might mean you're not twisting as open as much. So the right arm goes up to the sky, right hip hugs in, left thigh presses up, open up. Draw the left shoulder blade away from the ear. Even breath. Where is the weight in the right foot? Can you disperse it evenly? And then exhale, hand comes down. Move the blocks out of the way, press the palms down, pull back, down dog, your choice. You can add in the plank chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Exhale, down dog. 3 even breaths. Inhale, lift your gaze. Look to the top of the mat. At the end of your exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, come into a fold. Just going to spend a moment here. Now your blocks are handy if you need them. I'm just going to move them out of the way just in case you need a visual. From here, your left fingertip's going to go forward, and you're going to start to bend your left knee, pull your right hip back. Start to look towards the front right corner of the mat, and then take your right arm up. See if you can draw the shoulder blade tips towards one another. Breathe, and see what happens if you start to push your left foot into the ground to find both legs going straight. You can play in and out of that, taking it into the right hip as you bend the left knee, and then squeezing it up through the midline as you straighten both legs. Back into the right hip, a little stretch, up into the midline. One more full breath. Exhale, fold. Just let everything soften. We'll play that work on the other side, right? Your block's there if you want more space. Right knee bends, left hip presses back. Left arm goes up, open up. Looking for big chest opener. You can stay here or push into the right foot. Feel it draw all the way up into the belly. Bend the right knee, take it back into the left hip. Straighten both legs, draw it up into the belly. Bend and take it back into the hip. One more time, straighten both up into the belly. Exhale, soften. Inhale, bend the knees, hug the arms in, and just slowly squeeze in as you roll up, stacking everything. Arms go up, big reach up. Exhale. Hands come down. Just connect to your breath, even inhale and exhale. I'm going to start to do a little bit of a flow. Go at your pace. Here we go. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or hop, plank chaturanga. Inhale, into your back bend. We all meet there. Exhale, down dog. Right leg's gonna lift. You're gonna step the right foot forward. Grab the block, put it to the pinky side of that right foot. Start to bring the left heel down. Inhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Open up. Start to find all those long lines of energy. Right big toe pushes down, left outer heel grounds. Big breath in. Good. Inhale, bend your right knee a little bit, and then as you come up, bend it a lot. Warrior two. Exhale, straighten both legs, gently grab your right wrist. Arc over towards the back of your mat. See if you can turn the chest open for 3, 2, 1. Now you're gonna rotate, and as you rotate the chest towards the front of the mat, I want you to walk the right foot to the right, and you're gonna come up onto the ball of the back foot. So this is gonna challenge your balance. Just really big old stretch, hug everything in. Exhale, hands will come down. And you're just going to either use the blocks to frame that front foot. You're in a modified pyramid. And we're going to play here. I want you to hug the right hip in. Let your left hip drop a bit. And then take it out. Open up the left hip. Let your right hip go out. So you're going into these two extremes in the hips. Right? So we've got this kind of open rotation and then close. Internal, external. Just explore. Even movement of breath. Good. From here, the blocks will go out of the way. You're going to bend the right knee to pull the right leg back, down dog. You can stay here or float. Even breath into your vinyasa. Let's just do that standing work on the other side. Left leg's gonna lift, big breath in. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Left block comes, right heel down. Squeeze in as you pull up. You're gonna open up. Long lines. Shoulder blade tips draw together. Even breath. It's such a nice thing to kind of come back to. It's like, oh yeah, I can do it. Even breath holds us in the shape. Start to soften in the left knee. Push down through the left foot. Warrior two. You're going to start to lift the arms. Grab your left wrist. Left knee lifts, go straight. Arc over towards the back of your mat. Good. Now start by rotating your torso to the front of the mat. Left foot goes over. Test the balance. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Deep breath in. Exhale. Extend out. Hands will come to the blocks for stability. If your hands are on the floor, that's fine. Now think about just, I don't know, call this the Elvis Presley, moving in the pelvis, kind of going to the extremes. So what happens if you take your left tush out? The right hip's going to open. What happens if you take your right tush in and drop the left hip? Or the left hip in and then drop the right hip. Yeah. Explore. Don't worry about the feet being locked. Just kind of play in this internal, external rotation. And I'm definitely exaggerating it a bit. And if that feels good for you, because it does feel pretty good, do it. And then come back to neutral. Good. We move through the vinyasa. Hands come down, plant, pull it back, down dog. Beautiful place to stay. Take 5 even breaths or move evenly through your vinyasa. Right leg's gonna lift. Exhale. Step your right foot forward. Blocks are gonna come up on high. because you're going to step your left foot forward and come into pyramid. Now, this is such an intricate pose, and we're going to just hang out here for a bit. So looking for the lines. Right now, my legs are straight, kind of making a triangle shape. And I want to just feel for a moment my spine in neutral, parallel to the floor. Now, if you have longer legs, you might be up here, and that's fine, right? If you kind of longer torso, maybe you're down here. So adjusting the blocks. What I want you to get a sense of is this line of energy from the wrist to the shoulder, as opposed to kind of reaching out here. So really kind of feeling that support. Good. From here, squeeze the hips in. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, rise. Now, as you can see, I came up and I got like pretty shaky. It's because I'm kind of working much harder. I'm on a tightrope. So I'm going to just walk my right foot to the right a little bit to find more grounding. You can play with that. And right there, it's like, oh yeah, an inch can be a mile when it comes to your body in practice. So now I want us to feel the rotation. So like you're pulling your right arm back and taking your left arm forward. Just breathe into the kidneys right there. And you're going to hold that space and just lift up. Arms will start to extend out. Stay upright. Press through the outer left heel for 3, 2, twist a little deeper. 1. Good. Come back to center. Now we're going to build twisting triangle from the ground. So you're going to take your blocks and they're going to sandwich the right foot. Your right hand's going to start on your hip. Now your left hand has an option to go to the inner and outer block. One is going to be more intense than the other. Which one? The outer block, more intense than the inner block for most. The left arm, we want to get that length. You're going to reach that left arm up and out. See if you can take a couple even breaths to come in. And then choose your block. You can adjust the height. The hand will come down to the block. Inhale. Exhale. Hug the hips in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. If you'd like, right arm goes up. Keep pressing through the outer left heel. There is nothing easeful about this pose. See if you can find your anchoring and your steadiness in this very kind of wobbly, wibbly, kind of intense shape. Heart draws away from the belly button. Let's say we stay for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hands will come down. Take the blocks wide. Exhale. Move through the vinyasas. Yes, we're still in it. Plank chaturanga. And then we meet in down dog. Last little bit of kind of this kind of heated anchoring energy. Moving nice and slow. Left leg's gonna lift. Inhale. Even exhale, steps it forward. Good. Back heel will come forward and down. So my right toe, right now, my right toe is kind of pointing at 1:32 o'clock. You make yourself space while we're down here if you knew you needed it when you got up. And just find those lines. So legs, triangle. Spine parallel to the floor. And breathe. You're going to squeeze the legs together. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, rise. We're going to do that little twist up here before we set up our blocks. So left arm pulls back. It's almost like you're running. Left arm pulls back. Right arm pulls forward. Soften around the shoulders. start to extend out. And that's just like the twist really coming from the spine as opposed to the hips. We played in the hips already. See how that just threw me off? Boo! Big breath in, open up. Now you're going to take this with a hinge in the legs or a hinge at the hips. Come back to center. Hands will come down. You're going to set up the blocks. Come back up, steady gaze. Left hand to the left hip, right hand's reaching forward. Get as much length as you can. And then decide where the hand's going to go. If it goes to the outside, you're kind of coming towards the outer ankle. If it goes to the inside, you can go to the inner foot area. What you're going to do once you get there is hug the left hip back, take the chest forward, breathe. Even breaths. Hug the hips in, anchor through the right foot, take the chest forward, add the hand. Breathe. Sama Vritti. Even fluctuations, even in the wobbly fluctuations of the shape, hollow out the belly. Last couple breaths, you got this. Yes, yes, yes. Exhale, release. Whoo! If you wanted to take one last vinyasa for this little journey, this is the time and the space. Pull it forward, lower, lift. Exhale. Last few even breaths in down dog. Knees will come down. Hips will go back. Head releases. Even breaths. So we're going to go into some yin right now. That was a lot of neutral work in the legs. So we're going to play with some kind of external work. So turning. I'm turning forward so I'm facing the camera. You can stay right where you are. The hands will come forward, and let's set ourselves up for success. So we're going to have blocks handy. You may need them, you may not. So you're going to start to take the knees wide. We're in this kind of wide leg down dog. Almost like we're going into frog, but we're going to extend our left leg out. And if you're looking at the screen, I always play your mirror. So hands will come forward. You're going to lean over and start to rotate, kind of play just like we've been doing, like this internal, external rotation. Now, if your knee, particularly your right knee, doesn't like this, you can play this a little more upright and just explore there. If the knee is okay, you kind of slide on back and start to slide out. If you want more support, because we're going to be here for a minute or so, you can take a block or even two, and it feels so good to rest the thigh on there so that you can come forward for our Kriya work. So we're going to let go of the Sama Vritti for a moment, if you haven't already. And you're going to take Uddiyana Bandha. So big breath in, forceful exhale through the mouth. And then we're going to hug everything in, chin to the chest, belly into the spine. And you're going to hold for about 5 heartbeats. So we'll do it all together. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Pull the low belly in, chin into the chest. And hold, 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 hold. Exhale. Release. Now you come back to the Sama Vritti. We're just here starting to let gravity be a blanket, not forcing the body to be held in any certain way. See if you can soften around the shoulders and the jaw. And we'll hang out for just another minute. Good. Start to come out. Walk the hands back. If the block is there, you're going to take it out. You're going to slide down. Bring your right knee in a little closer, and you're going to bring your left knee on top. If the knees don't like this shape, because it is a lot, you're going to lean to the right and just straighten out your right leg. What we're looking for in what's called cow face pose, Gomukhasana, is to ground and anchor through the hips. So the right heel might want to tuck close underneath. That's fine. If there is space to explore, see if you can start to flex the feet and bring the shins forward a little bit. Sit up nice and tall, and then exhale, folds. Fingertips kind of press into the floor to start to feel your sit bones root. Let's just hang out for a minute. You can come back to the even fluctuation of breath. Last even breaths here. We're going to come up and just switch to the other side. You're going to end up facing away from me. We're going to go to Malasana, facing the other direction. So you're going to lean to the right. As you do so, curl the right toes under, and then flip it around, and you're in Malasana. Okay. Turns around so you don't have to. So there you are, Malasana. If you want to change back to the camera, you can. Elbows push in to the knees this round. We're going to play with a different round. If you need to be up here, take care of your joints. They are priceless. Breathe. And then slowly, you're going to lean to the right, bring the right or left shin down. Start to slide the right leg out, play again. So it's back to that first shape. If you wanted to use the block, have it handy, kind of frog, a half kind of child's pose. And then set yourself up so that you can release down. We'll do another Kriya breath here. Uddiyana Bandha means belly lock. So you exhale all the air out of your belly. Pull the low belly in, chin to the chest to kind of lock it. Hug. Deep breath in. Exhale. Chin into the chest, belly pulls in. Belly relaxes. Inhale. Samavriti. Yay. All right. Walk it back out. Move any props. Send the weight back so that you're behind the left foot. Don't have any expectations of this side as you slide the right leg on top. Start to nestle in. Get any props to support you so you can maintain. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale. Fold. The Samavriti is a perfect tool to kind of hold your intention, your focus. By this point, it's not about counting, it's not about the rigidness, it's just feeling the flow in and out of energy. And last little shift, lift up. Once again, we're gonna take the twist to Malasana. Now, if you just stayed facing the back of the mat, this is what's gonna bring you back to the front of the mat. This time leaning to the left. Right, toes curl under. You switch to Malasana. The first time we did elbows to the inside. Second time, playing elbows to the outside. See if you can press the knees into the forearms and really lift your chest. Well, yeah, it's intense. Whew. Breathe, Samavriti, very anchoring. Last little bit, hands come down. Big ol' stretch, just fold over the legs, hips up. Good. From here, you're gonna toe heel, And then slowly come down, cross your shins. Feet will come flat, lift up through your chest, and lower all the way down. One last little supportive move, just to get our hips above our heads, hoping your blocks didn't go too far away. Feet flat, block underneath the tailbone. If you don't have blocks, you can use a pillow or 2 pillows or a stack of books. Now, I like 1 block. If you really want to go for a height, you can stack 2. So we're opening up, did kind of lots of squeezing in this area. Hands will come down. You can grab the long edges of the mat. See if your knees want to come up. If they don't, just keep your feet on the ground. You may need to adjust the blocks once you bring the feet up. To do so, bring your feet down. Never adjust the blocks with the feet floating. Want to keep the neck and the spine safe. And then start to shift up into your supported shoulder stand. Heart open. We'll just take a moment here. If you want a more grounded variation, just legs up the wall, right? Or legs on a bed. Okay? You put your shins on the bed, the body lays off. Depends on the height of your bed too. But anything just to get the legs up for a little bit. We'll take a quiet moment here. You can also bring in your Samavriti or just be. Starting to head towards that chill out zone. Start to descend back to the earth. Feet come grounded. You'll remove the blocks. Don't rush the spine down. Really control as you go down. Squeeze in. Happy baby. Finding your toes, your feet, or the ankles. See if you can get the tailbone, the low back, the mid back, and the back of the head on the ground. And then the knees hug in. Exhale, squeeze. Start to lengthen out. Dropping into your time, whether it is a long final relaxation or you rise up for a quiet meditation. Kind of stepping into that very individualized, guided practice is really what Living Flow is about and how I hope to empower you. I am just here for inspiration and support, but it's really your practice and an honor to have you here. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Namaste.